In John 19, starting in verse 16, it says, "So they took Jesus, and he went out bearing his own cross to the place called the place of a skull, which in Aramaic is called Golgotha. In Latin, it's Calvary." Verse 18 says, "There they crucified him, and with him two others, one on either side, and Jesus between them. Pilate also wrote an inscription and put it on the cross. It read, 'Jesus of Nazareth, the King of the Jews.' Many of the Jews read this inscription, for the place where Jesus was crucified was near to the city. And it was written in Aramaic, in Latin, and in Greek. So the chief priests of the Jews said to Pilate, 'Do not write the King of the Jews, but rather, this man said, I am the King of the Jews.' Pilate answered, 'What I have written, I have written.'" They took Jesus and they crucified him. They took him and they beat him and punished him and hung him on the cross. Words can't capture the significance of this moment. Words about his death often don't impact us the way that they should. We've heard it so many times. It's easy for the words to just bounce off of us. May God drive home the significance of the cross to us today. Now, John takes a lot of time to write about Pilate's inscription that's nailed to the cross above Jesus. The Romans would nail the specific crime to the top of the cross so that all could see what the criminal had done. Jesus' inscription says, "The King of the Jews." Pilate was mocking the Jewish leaders and the Jewish people. Their king is hanging on a bloody cross, dying in agony. That's why the Jewish leaders protest and say, "This isn't our king. He only claims to be our king." What incredible irony. The man hanging on the cross is the King of the Jews. This is the King of Israel. He's the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. He is the King of all. And he is hanging naked on a cross in utter shame. What is our King doing there? Well, one of the things he's doing is fulfilling Scripture. This tragic death was no accident. It was predicted thousands of years before it happened. The soldiers in our text, it says they cast lots for his clothing. That was predicted in Psalm 22. He was given sour wine to drink. Psalm 69. They pierced his side instead of breaking his legs. That's Exodus 12 and Psalm 34. Now, the reason that they pierced his side is because the Israelites were forbidden to break any of the bones of the Passover lambs. And now, the ultimate Passover lamb was being sacrificed. And they didn't break his bones, even though they broke the bones of the two criminals crucified next to him. They pierced his side. This was not a random execution. This death was unlike any other death that has ever occurred. There were 29 prophecies fulfilled on the day that Jesus died. Thousands had been crucified like Jesus, many in the exact place where he now hung. But no death was the equivalent of this death. This death was the most monumental event in all of history for all time. What is our King doing on that cross? He is accomplishing our salvation. In John 19:30, it says, "When Jesus had received the sour wine, he said, 'It is finished.' And he bowed his head and gave up his spirit." It is finished. Let those words sink in. It is finished. Our salvation is finished. It's complete. There's nothing left to be done. No more payment has to be made. Our sin and guilt and shame has been taken away. The stain of our sin has been washed away. There's nothing we have to do. We don't have to add anything to the cross. We don't have to earn our forgiveness. We don't have to perform certain practices. It is finished. Our debt of punishment is finished. Our judgment in hell is finished. Our full and total forgiveness is finished. Our salvation is finished. Our adoption is finished. Our credited righteousness is finished. Our union with Christ is finished. Our home in heaven is finished. Actually, Jesus is possibly still working on that, as it says in John 14. The Greek word for finished is in the perfect tense, which indicates a permanent and forever continuing state. These incredible truths, they are all permanent. They are in a forever continuing state. And He has done it. It is finished. Let's think about that. Let's meditate on that. When trials and sorrows and pain and challenges and discouragement and worries come, remind yourself of this most amazing truth. It is finished. Your salvation is finished. There's a song we sing called "It Is Finished." It says this: "It is finished. He has done it. Let your weary heart rejoice. Our redemption is accomplished. Raise a shout with ragged voice and go bravely into battle, knowing He has won the war. It is finished. Lift your head and weep no more."